Hello students and welcome to my channel. In this session we will be learning Standard 10th Political Science Chapter 4 Social and Political Movements. We will be learning this chapter in 3 parts. In the first part we are going to learn why movements are needed and what is the importance of movement. So let's start learning by understanding why movement is important. All the people in the society cannot participate in the political parties and contribute to social welfare. Some people focus on a particular issue and pursue it. Pursue it means follow it. They organize people and try to pressurize the government to resolve that issues. They constantly follow up on the issue, build public opinion about it, and thereby put a pressure on political parties and the government. This type of organized activity is called a movement. Organized activity is the essence of any movement. So let's understand why we need movement. If we talk about the population of nation of India, it is estimated to nearly 138 crores. Now already we have learned into the political parties chapter that every citizen or the entire population of a nation cannot participate into the political parties or they cannot form the political parties, the entire population of a nation. Also, each and every individual cannot contribute for the social welfare of the nation, but there are few people around in a society or in a nation that these people, they work on a particular issue. For example, Anna Hazare, he fought against the corruption. He made an organization and he had an objective to fight against the corruption. Like this, there are various movements, like some movements like which work for the rights of the children. Child movement we have, even for empowering the movement, we have the women movement also we have into our nation. Now these movements, they are the organized activities, that is people come together, they organize themselves under some powerful leadership, and the main aim of the organization is to pressurize the government. Pressurize the government means an attempt is made to force the government to fulfill the demands of the people. But only making a demand and to pressurize the government, the work does not stop over here. Here, the people, that is the organization, has to constantly follow up the issue, that is the problem, and to make the people realize the intensity of the problem, that is to make the public opinion. Public opinion is very important in an organization. So the demands cannot be fulfilled. If one person demands to the government, suppose a person has some issue or he has some problem. If a person goes and he demands that whatever his problems are there that should be solved, then it may happen that less chances are there that if one person goes, his demands will be fulfilled. But on the other hand, if people come together, they get organized, then it becomes possible that the demands may be fulfilled, because if people are going to work in an organized manner, they will be able to pressurize the government, whereas solely one person cannot do so. So organization is very important. So such a type of organized activity which works on a particular issue is called as a movement. So we can say that organized activities, for example, Narmada Bachao movement, which is also called as the NBA, that is Narmada Bachao Andolan, which was launched by Medha Patkar in the year 1989. This is a movement against the development of Narmada Valley project. Also, anti-reservation protest of 2006. So these are the various movements. Now in this movement, the main importance, that is the essence of any movement, is the unitedness, that is the organized activity of the people is the significant feature of any movement. If people are organized, they are united, then the movement becomes very, very strong. Movements are very important in democracy. Different social problems come under discussion through these movements. The government then has to pay attention to such problems. Leaders and activists of the movement provide necessary information about those issues to the government. This information is very useful for the government while making policies. Such movements aim at opposing a particular decision or policy of the government. The right to protest is considered an important right in democracy. However, this right needs to be used patiently and responsibly. So, if movements are carried out in a nation, it signifies that people into our nation are aware about their rights. In the democratic nation, the citizens of our nation are aware about their rights. In our nation, there are different social problems like differences made on religion, or many women problems are faced by the women, or farmers issues are also the major issues which are faced by the farmers. Now these issues can be discussed due to the movements. So you can say that movement is a platform where the people get a chance to discuss their issues or their problem what they face. Because this is due to the movement, government also comes to know about the social problems which are faced by the people. After which, after knowing the issues or knowing the problem and the intensity of the problem, the government try to solve the problem. But to solve the issues or the problems or the difficulties of the people, the government should get all the details to solve the problems, for which the leaders and the activists are those a person or a people who campaign or who try to bring about the social change in a society. Those are the activists. So it is you can say that leaders or the activists, these are the mediums through which they take the problems of the people, of the citizens of our nation to the government. So they give all the information which are required to solve the problem, due to which it become possible for the government to solve the problems. Otherwise the government would not know what are the problems the people are facing. So through the right channel or through the proper reliable medium, that is the leaders or the activists, they take their problem to the government. But all the movements which are made, not all are made for making demands to the government. There are some movements which are also made or which have a aim to oppose the government. For example, or to name few, the Jan Lokpal Bill, that is anti-corruption movement, which was led by Anna Hazare in 2011, or anti-reservation protest of 2006. These are the examples of few movements which were made to protest or to oppose the government. And if people oppose to the government, no one can stop them. Not even government can stop the people to, if the protest is made against the government, because the constitution has given the right to express themselves to the citizens. But only thing, when people are protesting or they are demanding or they are going against or opposing the government, at such a time people have to work very patiently. They have to carry the movement, but in a very patiently it has to be taken. People should not use by the wrong means to oppose the government. That is, the peaceful means should be used, even though if the movements are made to demand, or even if the movements are made to protest against the government. In each case, care has to be taken that the problems or the demand has to be handled in a very peaceful manner. What is a movement? Movement is a collective action. People's active participation is expected in the movement. So as I told you, the essence of the movement is due to its organized. People are united. The collective action is very important. But along with that, people who are participating in the movement, they have to show their active participation. They should not rely only upon the activist or on the leader. People too have to give their active participation in the movement. So active participation and getting organized, you can say these are the two main factors for making the movement more powerful. A movement can be formed when people come together in the interest of a particular issue. For example, pollution can be a single issue for which a movement can be created. So if movement is made, a movement can be made when people come together, and every movement have their own common interest. Every movement is different to each other. Many of the movements are there, those who work for making demand to the government. Many of them, they protest against the government, or many of the movement have that which have the different objectives, like children movements are there, child movements, farmers movement, trade unions movements, various movements. For example, pollution can be a single issue for which movement can be created. Suppose if you are trying to reduce the pollution or to stop the pollution, at such a time a movement can be made where people can get organized and they can handle the issue of the pollution through a medium of movement. A movement has a particular social objective or a focused problem. For example, movement against corruption aims at ending corruption. So as I told you, every movement has some objective they have. Like example, I told you about the corruption. Anti-corruption was made by Anna Hazare. That is about the Lok Janapal bill I told you. It was an anti-corruption movement which was led by Anna Hazare. So their target was to stop the corruption, and which was made in the year 2011. Movements have a leadership. Leadership keeps the movement active. Objective of the movement, program of action, strategy of agitation are decided by the leaders. A strong leadership makes movement effective. So leadership is the important part of the movement. That is being united, active participation and leadership. So leadership is also one of the important part of a movement, because it is the leader who plans the objective of their organization or about their movement. He plans the action, what they are going to take to make demands to the government, how to make the strategy more stronger, and how to put the plan into action. So these all things are done by the leader, but of course by the support and the active participation of every individual in that movement. The more stronger the leader is, the more effective the movement will be. Movements have organizations. Without an organization, it becomes difficult to follow up the issues. For example, farmers organization work for farmers movement. So organization, these are the base of a movement. Without organization, movements can't be effective. Like we have various farmers organization. To name few of them, like All India Kisan Sangharsh, Bharatiya Kisan Union or All India Kisan Sabha. These are few of the movement which work for the farmers issues or farmers problems or farmers demands. Any movement requires a public support. People should feel connected to the issue that is undertaken by the movement. Movements have a program of action which help them to shape public opinion. So it is organization who keeps the follow-up of all the problem. That is, they keep on telling to the government about the issues of the people. Without the public support, movement can't work strongly. The movement have some program like what to follow, how to follow, what strategies should be used to fulfill their demands. Due to the program, the public opinion can be changed. So the public opinion is all dependent upon what type of program is made to make their demand to be fulfilled by the government. The program keeps the people to make their opinion about a particular issue. Generally, the movements are devoted to a particular issue but have an ideology behind them. Ideology means it is a system of ideas. For example, the movement against child marriage or dowry system or women empowerment and social equality. Sometimes some movement gradually get transformed into political parties. For example, Aam Aadmi Party was just a movement made against the corruption, but later it got a recognition as the Aam Aadmi Party. That means it became a political party. So now let us learn what is public interest litigation, that is PIL. Public interest litigation, it is a litigation, that is it is a process of taking a legal action, or PIL is filed in a court of a law for the protection of public interest. Now this PIL can be filed for various reasons, like violation. When the violation is made upon the basic human rights, at such a time the PIL can be filed into the court. For example, Paramananda Katra, a great human rights activist, he filed a petition in a Supreme Court on the basis of a newspaper report concerning the death of a scooterist who was knocked down by a speeding car. So when this person, after this victim, when he was being taken to the hospital, the doctor refused to attend this person and they directed that he should be taken to another hospital which was around 20 kilometer away, one that was authorized to handle the that is the medical legal cases. Based on this petition, that is based upon this problem, the Supreme Court held that preservation of human right is of importance. That is, every doctor, whether at a government hospital or otherwise at a private hospital, has the professional obligation to extend his or her services with the expertise for protecting the life of a people. That is, protection of the life of a people is more important. This public interest litigation case has brought about a change and amendment. It is PIL cases in India of a great importance for the working of the judiciary system. So PIL case, that is a public interest litigation cases, are needed to be encouraged more and more because it brings about a huge change, because it works in the interest of a people to raise their voice or to solve their issues. So PIL, that is a public interest litigation, should be encouraged by the people. There are some movement which was started by Mahatma Gandhi. As we have discussed many movement, but if we talk about the history, we will know that, and we are aware about the movement which was started by Mahatma Gandhi, like the Khilafat movement, non-cooperation movement, then Satyagraha. These were some of the movement which were led by Mahatma Gandhi. Also a movement which was led by Gadge Maharaj, the movement to keep the villages clean. And Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he made a movement for the rights of the Dalit people called as the Dalit movement. And Jyotiba Phule, he established the Satya Shodhak Samaj. So these are some of the movements which were being led by the prominent social workers or the political leaders. Let us understand what is the meaning of Son of Soil. Let's know what is the Son of Soil movement and on what issues does the Son of Soil, that is Bhumi Putra movement in India, insist upon. Son of Soil movement, it mainly focus on giving preferences to the people belonging to a particular region over the resources and facilities. Such a movement is seen in Maharashtra, wherein political parties, they demanded that the jobs in the government and private institution be first offered to the youth who are residing in Maharashtra. Do you know, civic problems need not originate only in a social sphere. They can emerge from any section of society. In India, especially in Maharashtra, many social reform movements were started and society started getting modernized. Our struggle for independence was also a social movement. The issues like protecting rights of the citizens, right to vote, minimum wages and economic security are the focus of political and social movement. Swadeshi movement is an important economic movement. So let us understand first what is civic problems. Civic problems are those problems which are faced by the people in a society, in a cities or in a villages. They are termed as a civic problem or the issues. So this civic problems, they did not originate only at a social sphere, but they can come out at any section of society. If we talk about Maharashtra, especially in Maharashtra, there were many social reform movements which was started to bring about the modernization. For example, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule or Savitribai Phule, these are the activists or who brought about the changes in a society by opening the doors of education and extending various fields including education, agricultural, then caste system and untouchability. They work upon the various issues in the society and thus people start getting modernized after that. Our struggle for the independence is also a social movement because it was an organized activity of a people to fight against the Britishers. So you can say that the struggle for independence is also a social movement because it was an organized activity which was working under a very powerful leadership of the great leaders of our nation. The issues like protecting the rights of citizens, right to vote, minimum wages and economic security are the focus of political and economic movement. So if political and economic movements are made, they have some focus or they have some objectives because they work on a particular issues, like they must be working for the rights, protecting the rights of a people, or to protect the right to vote, or fighting for the minimum wages, at least to get the minimum wages, and for the economic security of the people. So the objective and the aims may be different, but all together they all work to bring about the changes in a society. So whether it is a social movement, political movement, or economic movement. To name one economic movement in a pre-independence period, we can, Swadeshi movement is the best example for it. Because in this movement, it was been declared or it was been proclaimed to the people of India to avoid using the foreign goods and insisted to use only those goods which were produced or which were being made in India. So rightly we can say that Swadeshi movement is an important economic movement of India. So thus student, this is the end of the first part of the chapter, social and political movements. In the second part of the session, we will be learning the important movements in India like the tribal movement, the farmers movement, and the trade union.